Hey internet. It's been a while. Feels kind of weird to be coming back to the space. You know how in April everyone was like, I'm bored, I'm gonna go back to vlogging? Took me a couple more months. But the other day I was watching through some of my vlogs and I realized how nice it was to be able to go back and take a look at how things had been previously and just kind of like be able to see a snapshot into my life at that time. And so I was like, you know what, I miss that. And I feel like this is a particularly weird time and it would be good to at least give an update video. So really this is just like for me of the future to say, hey, this is where I was at the end of 2020. So big thing, I am in a place that you have never seen me in before. Back in January of 2020, I moved into this place. I live here alone, which is really cool. Alone plus a cat. I got my very first cat that is all entirely mine. His name is Jasper. He is a little panther. He is currently a nightmare and is trying to do everything he can to knock this off. But yeah, he's a sweet dude and it's been really cool. I definitely didn't know what was coming in 2020, but I think I made the best choice I possibly could have in January to move out on my own and to get a cat in February so that like I could have my own space because I am now working from home, but I also have a little friend to hang out with me. Job-wise, I don't know how much I've kept the vlog updated, so I'm gonna move back a little bit. So at the start of 2018, I was the COO of a production company, but things didn't go well with that, and I was actually part of the conversation to decide to dissolve the majority of that company, including my own job. So I lost that job at the end of August, but thankfully in September of 2018, I ended up working at the DFTBA warehouse, just packing packages. But then in January of 2019, I got a job as the customer service rep for DFTBA. The person who had been in that job decided to move on and I had gotten some training, so they brought me into that role, which was super great. And then the 2019 holiday season happened and it was so busy that I ended up having to bring people on as team members. From that point on, I've been the customer service manager of like the whole customer service department at DFTBA. Looking back on it, and even at the time, there was a sense of relief of stepping away from that production company. My job seemed important in title. It seemed like being the COO of a company, I'd have a lot to say. And by nature, I had a lot of responsibility for what was happening with the company. But in practice, my ideas and my concerns were not being respected by other members of the leadership team there. And so it ended up being really frustrating, seeing bad decisions being made and not being able to have any impact on them. And strangely, now in this role that I'm in, at DFTBA, even though it is not a C-level management, I feel like I have a lot of say. Like I've created my own department. I've been able to build up a lot of procedures and policies and be part of really important conversations for the company. And when I have concerns about things, people listen. You know, it's just been a very good experience. I'm very proud of my team at DFTBA. I'm very proud of DFTBA as a whole. And I know this sounds like weird propaganda-y stuff, but truly, it's, you know, I really love everyone that works there and I think it's a great company and I'm just very, very glad to be there, especially given this year and knowing that like I've had to work since March at home and still like that's worked out well and it's given me a lot of freedom. Still, we've been able to keep going and I have a team of a bunch of people now and yeah, it's really great. Working from home, working from a desk and a couch is strange, it's weird, and it's not exactly what does good things for my brain all of the time, but I'm grateful to have this space and this job and be in the position that I'm in. Weirdly, I've not seen my family in almost an entire year, which is wild. Not being able to travel because of COVID has been such a strange thing, and I find myself sometimes thinking about like how much I've not been able to do since March. And it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing to think like I've not been to a restaurant. I've not seen the majority of my friends in person. I've not seen my family. I've not been inside for longer than it takes to get groceries anywhere that's not my house. It's wild. It's a truly weird time. Everything is weird about 2020. And I think, you know, everyone is dealing with it in different ways and everyone is struggling in different ways. I know that my current struggle is that constantly my cup of stress is nearly at the top. And so a lot of times it's hard to handle any new stressors, or I don't have a ton of energy for things, so I end up getting frustrated because I don't do as much after work. I really like painting, and I've started like doing some embroidery. You know, I have a whole house to clean now, and you know, there's just hi. Nope. And there's just a lot going on. I get really frustrated because I end up just being wiped out and just end up laying on the couch watching YouTube videos or watching Netflix for a lot of the time. And that's really sad. That's definitely not my ideal way to spend time. But you know, you gotta be compassionate with yourself. You've gotta remember that like a lot's going on. Another thing I wanted to give an update on is my brain, like talking about stress levels and stuff. For almost a year now, I've been taking medication for my brain. A thing I talked a ton about was like problems with emotional regulation and thought spirals and cognitive distortions. And since starting on that medication about a year ago, things have been so much better. It's been like night and day. I feel like I am in control of myself again. I am a whole person again. So it's really remarkable. I was scared. I was really scared about it, and I'd love to talk more about it at some point. But it's cool to know that like now that my brain is getting the chemicals that it needs, I'm significantly more functional. My quality of life is way better. I'm really glad that that is a thing that happened, and really grateful that that was an opportunity for me. I say this and it's not like everything is fixed. It's just that it's not a struggle every day. I'm not using all of this energy to try to keep my brain in check when it's doing wild things. Like for the majority of the time, my brain is in check. I just have moments where things are harder. I don't know. I'd love to talk more about medication and what scared me about it and why I didn't do anything about it first, because I think that there are some misconceptions that I had and some fears that I had that I would love to like throw out there in case anyone else is feeling them and is afraid of taking medication because of that. All right, the cat is truly being crazy, so I should probably wrap this one up. I'd love to do more videos. I just don't know if that's a thing that is reasonable to expect that I can do in any time in the future. I think one of the things that stopped me a while back, like obviously I wasn't doing well, my brain was not great, but I am a stubborn person, a strong-willed person, and a sensitive person. And one of the things that I started experiencing in posting videos and having people see them and kind of start to feel like they maybe knew me a little bit better, and having interactions with people who don't know me in real life, one of the things that happens is you get a lot of unsolicited advice. And I have a hard time with that. It makes me really frustrated because it makes me feel like people don't think I can think through things myself. And a lot of times I would receive advice about something that like I've already tried or it wouldn't work for whatever reason. So that started to make me just not want to put as much out there. And places like Twitter and Instagram that I use quite frequently, I don't have that same response very often. I don't have people wanting to give me advice. And it's also like I'm talking about different things. I would come on here to talk about things I was thinking about or problems I was having where I wasn't necessarily always looking for advice, but a lot of times people would think that I was. And there are times where I've asked questions, and if I ask a question, I don't mind people giving me answers. I don't know. This is a whole other ramble, but it is really hard for me to have people give me advice because it makes me feel like they don't think that I'm smart or that I can handle things. And I know that all of this advice is given in, you know, people being kind and like wanting to help out or seeing that I'm having a problem and thinking like, oh, maybe she didn't think about this. But it's hard. I know, it's a dumb thing. It's a weird thing. I'm such a Taurus. I say that as a joke only mostly. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I would say if you wanna hang out online, I post Instagram stories all the time. I tweet occasionally, not as much as I used to. Instagram's really the place to keep in touch. I don't know if there's anything else. I just wanted to be a person on a screen again somehow, weirdly. I was thinking the other day, I had a video that I made when I was 24, and it was a message to me at 34. And I realized that this year I am halfway between that, which is kind of wild. Growing old is weird. Being almost 30 is weird. Being a person, a professional in an environment where you have to have a meeting about insurance plans and everyone is taking it very seriously and asking these serious questions, all of that is very weird. Okay, he's getting so wild. This is Jasper. So I'm gonna need to go before he knocks over my entire house. Yeah. But thank you as always for watching. Thanks for coming back. Hi, future me, for when you do your deep dives into your own YouTube channel. I hope that everyone is managing through 2020, and I hope the holiday season is kind to everyone, and I hope that you all are kind to yourselves. Okay. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all later.